us a thing.
Oh, now she's spinning.
We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
You don't see him in Bernie's camera, like trying to hang out with Cow Baby. Let's make the most of.
Cool, it's just me on here. You guys are nowhere to be seen.
Do we want to try Zoom or Teams or Skype or something?
Later, yeah. Tonight, not a good, probably not the time to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that's going to. Cool. Everything froze.
We're still here.
No, I'm talking about on OBS. It's not allowing me to do freaking anything, really. Oh, there's that. That's good. Son of a gun. Well, why doesn't somebody go ahead and give us a recap while I try to work on things and people can just look at my face for a minute.
All right. So, let's see. The last thing that we did, yeah, we ate pies, and
So we went to the Vistani camp.
yep, Rictavio said that he would clean up the mess. Elrin was talking to the Von Zarovich brothers, or no, the Wachter brothers. We found out that Lady Wachter is very loyal to the Von Zarovich line. She dislikes the Burrowmeister and wishes that she was the Burrowmeister. She's not a nice lady. And I have that she's not completely heinous. Enoch passed out due to alcohol consumption. Mogar had his dream that resulted in him getting a new staff from Ghost Rider.
Hey. Watch the copyrights.
Look into my soul.
The Spectral Rider.
There you go.
There we go.
Better.
We went and scoped out the mansion. We bought pies from this strange lady, and they ended up knocking out Elrin.
Okay. Okay. So,
Elrin is in a cart being pulled by people.
where we last left off, Elrin is definitely in a cart being pulled by your fighter, by Enoch. Um, before we go any further, Enoch, is there anything that you would want to do?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get frustrated with all this horse and pony show, and I'm just gonna straight up slap Elring just bam as hard as I can.
With intent to do damage?
Yes.
How, like legit? Like you want to? Like, okay. I'm not gonna make you roll for an attack because Elrin is just sitting there in a daze. But I'll tell you what. What's your what's your yeah? Just roll your unarmed damage.
It's 1.
Oh, I thought it was higher than that. All right, so
No, all unarmed damage is 1 unless I've got like unarmed fighting techniques and
Unless you're a monk.
unless you're a monk, and then there are also I don't know what feats you have. That's what I'm trying to say.
nothing cool like that.
Okay, so
So
it could be 1d4.
nope, it's not.
Okay.
That's why I use weapons, not my fist.
You all see, jeez. You-
Didn't do a lot of damage.
You all see, just kind of get frustrated, throw his hands up. You take your gloves off, or at least one glove if you're wearing them, and you rear back and you. Oh, sorry, Logan, scared my dog. Sorry, buddy, go lay down. That's why we keep a bag of treats around, in case something like that happens. Sorry. Here, go lay down, buddy. Good boy. You all hear just pow. Ellen, you actually, with the sting of flesh to flesh contact and a little bit of that coppery blood taste in your mouth, you wake up and you take 1 point of damage. Little still groggy. You've got a bit of a headache, but you are awake.
Can I slap him too? Just
Now I want you to roll an attack.
The first time?
Roll an attack, Mulgar.
roll an attack or just do my unarmed damage?
Roll an attack because he is awake now.
I slapped myself. I rolled a 3.
You haul off to slap him too, thinking it looks fun. But at the last second, Elrin jerks his head back, and you just full on contact right with the side of the cart. Whack! It is not. It smarts. I mean, it causes your hand. That numb feeling when you hit something. That's what you get. Yeah, you get dead hand out of it. It's not fun. Huh? Oh Lord! I'm going to start making you take damage. But yeah, you are awake now, Elrin. You were in a euphoric state. In fact, you kind of liked where you were. But now you're back to the harsh reality and the cold, dead air of Barovia. All right, from here, what do we want to do?
We still gotta go do the wine thing. Let's get that done.
Okay.
We promised the guy. Let's complete it, get it done. That's my suggestion. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think that's the best course of action is to just continue on with what we were doing.
Yep, finish it as fast as we can.
Was Brittany trying to say something?
No, I think she figured it out.
Okay.
Bless her heart. Okay.
It's a cart.
Yeah.
Put stuff in it.
I mean, you can put stuff in it if you want.
But let's go.
Okay. Um, you all make your way out of Valaki, and you start going down another dark road, just like the others, covered in mud, puddles. Off to your right and left are woods. There is a distinct There's a distinct lack. Mother of pearl. I am frustrated tonight. There's this distinct lack of wildlife sounds, other than you hear crickets and things like that. Jacob. We get a tour of Jacob and Courtney's apartment right now. You make your way down the road. Probably about a half mile. You hear the chittering of bats and a few distant howls of wolves. The howling of wolves. Up ahead of you, you come into an X intersection. The road comes to an X intersection about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile up the road. And you see branches to the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. Now, the lower half of a snapped wooden signpost thrusts upward at an angle near the eastern elbow of the intersection. The top half of the sign, featuring arms pointing in four directions, lies in the weeds nearby. If anybody would like to retrieve that,
Yeah, I was gonna say I would like to retrieve it as well as I want to try and figure out if the sign snapped naturally or if it was cut down.
you can look at it easy enough. It was either forced down or snapped down naturally, but it is an older sign. There's no cuts. There's no smoothness to it. It's just
So it's not like somebody took an axe.
no. Yeah, it's definitely jagged. Like it was snapped by either weather or beast or some really strong dude or lady or whatever
Yeah.
creature.
I'd like to figure out how it was positioned on the bottom of the signpost so we can see like where like the proper actual direction is.
And once again, it's easy enough to do. You can align these two pieces pretty easily. Mainly because when it's snapped, one side of it juts out taller than the other from the ground, and if you just match those two pieces up, you'll be good. So the arms indicate that Kredsk and Solinka Pass is to the southwest. So Kredsk, so Krezk, and Solinka, I can't say that. So we're just going to say Solinka, and y'all can tell me how to pronounce it once I spell it, and that is Tsolenka Pass. Both of those are to the southwest.
Yeah,
Lake
you pronounced it about right.
Lake Baratok to the northwest. Valaki and Ravenloft to the northeast. So northeast would be back from where you came. And
Lucky and where?
Ravenloft, Castle Ravenloft. And Berez, Berez, to the southeast, which would be south, from where you all are. Kind of back where you're You would be kind of coming back where you were from, but going more south.
So Crest was to the west. Lake Baratok was
Crest
to the
southwest was Kresk. Lake Baratok to the northwest. So okay, so you're at an X intersection. All right. So up here, that's Lake Baratok. Going right. We'll just say to your right. To your left, that would be Kretsk and Solinka Pass. Now you know from what everybody's telling you that you can go. You just keep following this road, and you'll eventually make it to the Wizard of Wines.
Okay. We go that way, right, guys?
Keep on trucking. Gotta move those feet.
Are any of the other places listed on this signpost? Anything that have been mentioned in any of the Madame Eva stuff or things like that?
That should be in your notes.
So
I don't have access to them.
Everybody's got access to them.
Okay, let me stop what I'm doing. Here, pick me up to do it.
Hey! Listen. Smartassery.
Are they getting closer?
Make a perception check. Not really. They are far enough away that they don't pose a real concern right now. So I'll be real honest with you. I can't find the notes where I wrote everything down. That's why I was telling you all the notes are. But
So, monk is Kresk, the holy symbol of Ravenkind.
yeah, I was going to do my best just to wing it, but you go right ahead.
Is the one thing I found very little bothers vampires more than holy symbols.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quickly reading. Enchanter is the sun sword and a very powerful weapon. The Master of Stars is in Rictavio's tower. Mist is Esmeralda, and we don't know where she is. So it looks like the only thing I know is Kresk.
And
we know, I believe, haven't we heard Strahd's castle referred to as Castle Ravenloft?
yes, in fact, that's what they call it. Yeah. So you know where that is.
We know where Valaki is.
Mm-hmm. You know where Rictavio's tower is as well, because he told you. So Rictavio / Von Richten's tower is in Lake Bartok.
Okay.
That's where he would have retired to after you all murdered half the town. I say that, but you didn't. You just took out some guards. So right now, you have two things that you can take care of. You've got the Wizard of Wines, which you're on your way to do. And then you can also swing by Von Richten's tower as well, which is kind of on the way.
And we have, what, 2 days until that festival?
Yeah. Yeah, you have roughly, legit, you have 2 days.
Okay.
So we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Now, you don't have a real time limit on the wine. You just have a time limit on when the festival is. They didn't give you a time limit.
Well, he did. He wanted it before the festival.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he also...
So then you have until the 2 days.
He also knows what happened to you, remember?
Yeah.
What you were involved in. So, It's been 3 weeks, guys. I get it. So let's talk it out.
Meet us back at the Blue Water Inn.
I'm sorry?
I thought Rictavio told us he would meet us back at the Blue Water Inn.
No, he said he was going to his tower, and the Blue Water Inn is now off limits because he's wanted.
Oh, that's true.
So I bet we get the wine, go see him, and then head back to town.
I think we do it in the other order. I think we go see him and then we go get the wine. That way we can just take the wine directly back to Valaki
Take it to a vote.
instead of having to detour with what could be a cart full of wine.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That's fair.
Carrying a whole bunch of kegs. That's
I mean, not the first time, but
It's true.
we can carry some kegs.
you can, yeah.
All right. So Rictavio's. Is that where we're headed?
Okay.
To the Tower of Tavio.
All right, so you all travel along. You all know to take a right, basically, at this X intersection. So you're going to go up a little ways into the woods, actually. And then as you travel along, almost what's like is a merchant road. The merchant road kind of stops and goes into a thin dirt / mud road. After about I apologize. Before you go there, you would cross a bridge. Now, what you crossed is the Luna River crossing. Luna River crossroads over a bridge. And then you come to the X. If you take the right, you would travel northeast. Yeah, that's what we said. Northwest. Crossing the bridge to the post, you head northwest. Once again, as I said, the almost smooth, but yet still muddy, rough, dark road stops, and it becomes a thin dirt, even muddier road, almost just a pathway. You make your way through the woods here, surrounded by trees. Some have leaves, some don't. Some of the branches look like skeletal hands that are reaching out for you. Possibly actually reaching out for you. You don't know. Very little noise is heard here except for the sloshing of the mud that beneath your boots. Sinking, it's sinking in a bit as you stroll your way down through here. Enoch, as you continue on, you get probably another half mile up the road, and this cart is almost refusing to go through this mud.
I'll leave it. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, brother, I say tie it to a tree and let it go.
The cart's not gonna run away. So.
First of all, you would tie something to a tree? An animal? You're a terrible druid.
I'd ask permission first.
Consent has nothing to do with you leaving something to die out in the woods.
I mean, it kinda does.
Well, yeah, you got a point there.
But
Okay.
it's just the cart. There's no animal attached to it.
There's no animal. He was the animal. He was the jackass pulling the cart. You continue on up this road. Sorry. I realize how rude that was. But it was freaking funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
It was on you, man.
Yeah. Once again, I apologize. Just to let everybody else know, and the players already know, found out my cousin was in a car accident. I'm getting texts rolling in telling me she's okay, but there may be some neck and injury, back injury, and stuff like that. She was rear-ended by a tractor trailer.
Damn.
Yeah, her car is toast.
Your car's not a car.
No, it's not. It's literally ripped open like a tin can. So
Sounds like she's lucky she walked away.
she's very blessed that she walked away. Yes, very. So yeah, we're just lots of texts and prayer and everything else that is going on right now for my cousin. So
Sorry to call you out on that, man. I just all of a sudden you went quiet.
no, yeah, sorry, that was my fault. I should have let it be known beforehand. Yeah, okay, sorry. Here we go. Also, I was trying to do something.
Also,
And we
there's
know-
a sweet message in chat.
Oh.
Sorry, I have your stream open.
No. Read it to me. I don't have that open.
Oh, it says my prayers towards her recovery from Anthony Suavecom.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, Anthony, very much. He's a very good dude. He watches me play Call of Duty a lot.
Wish I had somebody to play Call of Duty.
Tanner, you can always play Call of Duty with me, buddy.
No! He knows he can play Call of Duty with me.
Join too.
He knows he can play Call of Duty with me. He just wants
Yeah,
everybody to go, "Aww."
yeah, I know, we're still working.
Pretty unfair.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, look at these trees and these woods. These are so nice.
Let me tell you some random facts about trees.
Shut up.
Did you know that trees can breathe? I bet you did not.
How do you think we get oxygen? Never mind.
Now I have Ronnie's stream open on my phone just so that I can see Ronnie's beautiful face.
Jesus, running. So what you're saying, Mulgar, is all of these trees know how to breathe?
They're alive?
Kaylin, as you're walking along, something shiny catches your eye over in the corner, which is not surprising coming from the player. So as you're walking down,
We all just saw the player's reaction to the word shiny.
exactly. Off to your left, there's a glint. There's a bit of a glint off into the trees, just a little ways into the woods, just a little ways, probably 5 feet, maybe that. But there is something catches your eye.
I go and look at it.
All right, so as you're walking through there, give me just one quick investigation check.
Hold on, my thing is investigation
Uh-huh.
19.
Okay. You actually pick up on it again as the moonlight not moonlight, but whatever light source is out right now, glints off of it a little bit because it is the day. There's no real sunlight to speak of. But as you get closer to it, you kind of look at it, and half buried in the dirt, it looks like a silver piece of some kind.
I pick it up.
You pick it up, and as you do, it's about, if you can see my hand, about this big.
About how big?
Sorry, about this big.
Your hand is not high enough for me to see, but that's okay.
I don't know how. I can see it right on here.
Oh, there we. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
You have a silver skull about the size, about that size. It
Okay.
is not very intricate, but it is, as far as like, there's no design on it or anything, but it does look eerily like a real skull. But it's so small, and it's silver. Whether it's pure silver or not, you don't really know at this point. But it is. It's once you dust it off a little bit, it is quite lovely, even if it is a skull.
Does it look like something I've seen before, like a brooch or anything that
No,
I've
it's just
seen on somebody? Okay.
it's just a solid silver skull. It's got some heft to it. When I say solid, I mean it's got some heft. I don't mean yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take it, and I am gonna show it to the party and say, "Hey, look, I found this."
I found this. Thanks, Forrest.
And I don't know if it does anything yet because I haven't investigated it that much.
I don't know if it does anything yet. You can always tell a D&D player, I don't know if it does anything, or it could just be pretty.
I mean, hey, you never know.
Silver skull.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's heavy. We can throw it at people's skulls.
Brittany just freaked out a little. She's on mute though.
As she's like coming to the party to show us this skull, Morgar's like completing this like joke that he was telling everybody about trees. But he was like, "How do you properly identify a dogwood tree?" And he's waiting for everybody's response, and he goes, "By the bark."
Did you take time to look that up? Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Hold on, I'm about to lose Courtney. Wait a second. Breathe. It's okay.
We're good.
Courtney should be more acclimated to that kind of sense of humor at this point because that's the kind of jokes I tell on the daily.
All right. So you make your.
It was like clear or crystal.
It was silver. It was a solid silver skull. Don't know if it does anything, but we can throw it at people.
I like that idea.
Anybody got a sling? Just so.
Yeah, Ronnie, is there anything I can do to see if I like can tell other than if it is special other than the fact?
You can make an Arcana check if you want to try.
An 8.
It is a really sick looking skull.
Cool.
Don't know what else it does.
Bruh.
You all continue your way around the bend, through the woods. The road is getting a little up and down, around. You come around the corner and it starts to bend back around, going south at this point, a little bit southwest. But as you come around the bend, you can hear water, almost like a shoreline, like a lake. The road branches off to your right, and down this another muddy road. What you see is a large opening to what was probably once a beautiful lake. It's a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. Probably seen in its day had seen many fishermen and maybe family picnics or anything like that. Thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters of this lake. And the trail that you're on ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches about 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy land, or flat, marshy island with a stone tower on it. So basically, you've got a little causeway that goes right out into a dry, marshy part in the lake, and that's where the tower stands. The tower that you see is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side where a large gash has split the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with moss, perch atop top buttresses that support the walls. And parked near the base of a tower, within sight of the entrance, is a barrel-topped wagon spattered with mud. So what you're seeing is probably about an 80-foot tower that you can tell, and then that's what it looks like on the outside.
Now you said there was a causeway there. Is that a way to get to the island, or do we need to figure?
That is the way. That is way to the marshy island. Yeah, maybe we'll say it's a land bridge, basically.
My definition of like my experience with causeway, not so much of something you want to walk over.
Right, right. I said causeway, but I just thought it sounded cool.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Everybody in? Everybody in?
Somebody needs a staff, just in case we face a ball rock, so you can come back as whatever the white. Just saying.
That was a little more than 80 feet, man.
Do we find him?
You walk your way across, your feet sinking a little lower than what you're used to on the road in this mud. You can actually smell the marsh. You know, you see the cattails hanging up. You can smell the dirty water. It's almost stagnant. Wisps of fog roll around your legs, but nothing like you've seen before. This is just... all of this is eerie. Even walking through this, over this dry, quote unquote, dry part of land. The water is still, and that thick fog clings to it out in the middle of out in the middle of the lake. You get closer, and you come up to right in front of the, near the entrance. There is that wagon that's there, and it is covered in mud. But you can
Same
tell.
wagon from town, right?
Actually, no.
Okay.
If you look at it, you can tell under the layers of this mud, under the layers of mud that's on there, this wagon sports what could be probably a fresh coat of purple paint. And the wheels have fancy gold trim around it. Now, around the corners, there are brass lanterns that hang from them, and red drapes cover tombstone-shaped windows on each side. If you look at the back, a steel padlock secures the back door. And hanging from that door is a cheap wooden sign that says, in common, "Keep out."
Are there any other words on the side of it?
Mm-mm. Now, you remember Rictavio's wagon had advertisement for his traveling show.
Yeah, that's what I was.
This does not. Yeah.
Is it like a cart we've seen before? Like
It puts you in the mind, because it's a barrel top wagon, it puts you in the mind of the carts that you've seen at the Vistani camp.
That's what
At
I
the
was
Vistani camps. But this is nowhere near as decorative as theirs. I mean, there's some thought put into theirs. This one is just a kind of a dark color, purple, and it's covered in mud. which the wagons you saw at the Vistani, if you were paying close attention, were pretty immaculate as far as cleanliness. So this is the same kind but very different.
And you said the back of it had like a padlock on it.
Big old padlock.
Can Morgar go to the back and like put his ear up to like what I assume is like a opening or doorway?
Sure.
Or is this locked?
Up to the up to the door. That was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, I want to put my ear up to like to the back of the wagon where the lock's at.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
15.
Yeah. Wait, before you answer, go ahead, Enoch.
I'm just gonna like pay attention, see if anyone's coming.
Go ahead and roll a perception check as well.
Crap. Okay.
What'd you get there, Mulgar?
Morgar got a 16.
16. It from what you can tell from your ear, it sounds very, very, very unoccupied. You don't hear anything really inside. You don't hear shuffling. You don't hear breathing. You don't hear anything.
Is there a smell other than the marsh scent?
If you're looking for something
Like
like
a decomposing body of an
okay,
animal or
so
person
you're
or-
looking for something specific. So you roll a perception check as well. Enoch, what'd you get?
11.
You don't see anything. Everything looks pretty clear. Yes.
Good. No one's coming.
It's like you're staring at the side of the wall.
Listening.
What is it?
I would like to have Aurora listening.
Okay.
For anything approaching.
Okay.
She gets advantage if it's with her.
Hearing. Yeah. Go for it.
I got a 12.
The you just basically smell. Swamps have that decay smell anyway. So that's what you smell, like wood, like rotted wood and damp things, and that you don't really smell anything specific. It just smells like a swamp.
Okay, so nothing coming from like the cart.
No.
Okay.
What Aurora get?
11.
She doesn't hear much.
Yeah. She rolled a natural 1 and an 8.
I have one more question about the cart.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me ask the obvious question. Is the big lock, is it like open and like hanging on the side? Or
No.
is it like actually locked?
It is very much locked.
That's it.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
I kind of want to go into the cart. I know that's dangerous.
All right, so hold that thought. Enoch, you go first, and then I saw Brittany with her hand up. Correct? No, you don't do that. You're going to go next.
I was just gonna yell out Rictavio's name. Like, hey, where are you, dude?
You do. It actually kind of echoes off the lake, and you don't hear anything back. Elrin,
Well, we're just gonna go knock on the door.
you were going to go knock on the door. Which one? The tower door? Okay. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. So good news. No MRI showed no damage to my cousin's head. We'll have to see an orthopedics doctor tomorrow in Morristown for her shoulder and back. But she's going to be in pain. But it'll be a rough night. But she's doing good.
That's good.
That's good to hear.
I'm sure that kind of put your mind at ease a little
It does a lot. I don't know if y'all can see, but yeah, that's mercy. Okay, I'll show y'all later. I'll show y'all later. I wish I edited these things because this is going to be. All right, so um, you walk up to the door, Elrin. The tower door is made of iron. Iron, yeah, with no visible handles or hinges. Now, in the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with 8 stick figures set around it. Carved into the lintel above the door is a word, Kazan, Khazan, Kazan, Kazan.
Now, that was carved above the door to the wagon or to the tower?
To the tower. That's what Elrin saw. Y'all are still kind of chilling at the wagon. He walked right up and was going to knock on the door. You're going to continue knocking on the door because there is a knocker right underneath that symbol. Yeah, yes. Okay. All right. And everybody's still around the wagon?
No, I'm starting to kind of walk around the perimeter.
Okay.
Like, still keeping within eyesight of at least one person of the party.
Okay. So, with that, as you walk up and you knock on the door, you reach up, and as soon as your knuckles touch with the door, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and anybody that was near the wagon to make a dexterity saving throw as well.
Within what distance of the wagon? Because I didn't walk up to it, so I don't want to.
I'm going to say within 5 feet of the wagon.
Okay.
Yeah, so you didn't walk up to it, so you're probably about 10 to 15 feet away from the wagon, as well as Enoch. Mulgar, you were right on top of the wagon. Where were you at, Kaylin?
I was going to,
You were going to go in the wagon.
I was going to try and break in the wagon.
Yeah, I know. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as well. So, Mulgar, Kaylin, and Elrin make dexterity saving throws for me.
I got it already. I'm ready.
All right, Mulgar, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
14. Okay. Elrin, what'd you get? 19. Good deal. Kaylin, what'd you get?
15.
15. Okay. Kaylin, Elrin, you both. It's almost like you smell the ozone in the air. And you hear a crackle. And you're both able to get out of the way just in time. Wow. Okay, that was terrible. Both of y'all take 4 points of lightning damage. As a bolt of lightning comes out from the door, and literally, that's crazy to think that. And Mulgar, you take 8 points of lightning damage as you're just like you're focused on this door, and you turn around and you see Kaylin jump out of the way to get a little bit singed by this lightning, and you just take it full in the hip. And so each of you take 4, and Mulgar, you take 8. I literally rolled 4d10 and came up with 8 points of damage.
That's rough.
Yep.
I'm not going to complain, though.
At this point, you see that the door now, whereas it is made of metal, it is kind of crackling with this lightning.
So,
Elrin does.
question.
Hold on. What did you say, Elrin? Don't touch the door. Yeah. Go ahead with your question.
So, real life scientifically,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is magic.
And that's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I hear anything? Because I was.
You all would hear and see this. I mean, because it's a flash of lightning right next to you. It's not going to be thunder, but you're going to hear the electricity, almost like a
Yeah.
not a cartoonish zap, but you're going to hear it hit, and you obviously hear everybody if they cry out, and then you hear Mulgar go because he gets hit and he's like shakes a bit. Okay, all right, it's like licking a light socket, but not that I've ever done that.
Then I think Ellen Teal would have instinctually had her greatsword ready.
Okay.
Not like I like just like okay. Last I checked, there wasn't anybody to attack us. Why are we being attacked?
At this point, all you all see is Mulgar kind of smoking from his hip, and the other two laying on the ground, getting up, dusting themselves off. They're a little worse for wear. I mean, you look and Caitlin's hair sticking out a little bit. Mulgar does not have hair, so there's none to stand up. But and then again, Elrin has a hat on, so. You definitely understand. You smell the ozone in the air. You know that there was a lightning strike at this point. This door, Elrin, from what you can say, what you can see, is definitely trapped.
Oh, I'm a monk. I don't have anything to help with that.
Elrin, is there anything you want to do since you're standing right in front of the door? Okay. Enoch, what are you doing?
Kind of chuckling at the smoke fest over here,
Sure.
and still keeping an eye out, making sure like nothing comes up because
Okay.
we're in a lake and crap happens.
Ellen
Yell
Teal.
at everybody?
Huh?
I said I was gonna say I was gonna yell at everybody to step away.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna say the K word that's on the door. And I'm gonna try and get it.
Okay. That's a really good idea. Um, what's your? I know it. Hold on, I think I know it. Elrin. Passive investigation is 15, so you've got what? As your intelligence, your score is what?
17.
17. Make an Arcana check for me. I want to know. I want to see something. Since you are more or less the spell slinger in this group, and you're a learned person.
It's the learned person, Mulgar, not the spell slinger. You're all right. Calm down.
17.
17. Pretty much just you beat it. Okay. You would know that the name above that, once you say it out loud, you're like, Kazan. I know that. And hold on, frickin' frack. Actually, you wouldn't know that. I'm sorry. Yeah. But it does have some sort of it's there is something odd about this name. There's definitely some magic to it.
Yeah, like it's the magic word to stop the light.
Didn't do anything. The door is still kind of crackly.
Skull
Yeah.
anywhere on there.
There's no skull on there that you can see.
The foot is small skull.
Besides, you're looking at the you're really entranced by this.
I am really entranced by this other.
Okay, so what I'm going to give you is
Sebastian touch it?
huh?
Can Sebastian touch it?
Oh, that's a really good question. Has Sebastian been summoned this entire time, or are you going to summon him?
Yes, he's always with me, like the devil on my shoulder.
Okay. And he is. What do we say he was? An imp. Let me see something real quick. Not being able to use my computer with all my notes on it has really put a damper on how I am running things tonight, and I apologize. Also, I'm like you said, I'm a little bit more at ease now, so it's coming a little bit.
If you're looking, he has magic resistance.
Yo, he has your imp has magic resistance and invisibility.
I'll be back super quickly. I'm gonna feed the kitty so
Okay.
he doesn't keep knocking things off.
Send that Sebastian.
You would know that if he did touch it, it would probably just set it off again. He's not incorporeal. So he is a physical being. So he does. If he does touch the door, it's probably going to. It may set it off. There's only one way to find out, but he may set it off again.
Any windows or anything?
There are multiple windows. Yes.
Go in it.
You want him to go in? Okay.
No, Enoch had something to say.
Oh, Enoch, go ahead.
There was scaffolding on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is any of it ground level that we can climb up?
Most of it's collapsing, scaffolding, and that's huh?
Yeah, no risk, no reward.
I mean, you can try it, but it is old.
I don't know. I'll say to the rest of the group, hey guys, there's scaffolding here that we can probably climb up and into.
Sebastian, go through window.
Now, like I said, there is a where the scaffolding is. There is a large gash in the wall. It split the wall open. Now, you all are used to Elrin being having a little bit of a different take on everything. Seeing how she has an imp as a familiar. She can also send in. She just said she can send her familiar in. You can climb in, or you can figure out the trap. There are 3 different directions you can take this, or you can just go.
I would say send the imp in, because it means none of us are going to get hurt in the process.
Live on pretending.
Say what?
Yeah, repeat it. To fly.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So as Sebastian goes up, are you going to go deaf and blind to see and hear what he hears and sees?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as he flies up, you can see that this is pretty messed up. The scaffolding. It's not going to be able to. It definitely probably wouldn't. Yeah, it's not going to be able to hold Enoch because of armor and shields and stuff like that. Definitely not going to hold Mogar. But as he goes by it, he's looking, kind of inspecting it. It's old and it is rickety. But he can kind of squeeze through the bottom of the hole in the wall, the gash in the wall, and get to the first floor. And what he sees in there, what you see in there, is a flagstone floor, and it is strewn with debris. A few old crates stand near the east wall of it. A torn curtain to the south. What it's hanging up, and it partially obscures the tower vestibule. Now, there's a 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor, and it contains 4 pulleys that are attached to taut iron chains that stretch up. And as he looks up, and it goes through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. Standing next to those chains are 4 tall clay statues. And that's pretty much what he sees downstairs.
What's on the other side of the door?
It is just an iron door on the other side. Go on up.
I tell everybody what I saw through Sebastian.
You can do that. He can do that. You just can't see or hear anything. As you want Sebastian to go up another floor?
Yes.
Okay. Straight up through the hole in the ceiling.
I guess. Is there another way?
Not really that he can see.
Then yes.
Okay. Flies up, past the chains, circles around, goes through the hole in the ceiling, and he comes to the second floor. And here, dust and cobwebs just are the only thing that's filling this otherwise empty room. Now, looking down, he can see that the wooden floor of this room is badly rotted and partially collapsed. There's really nothing else in here. But there is
Here, and I don't think there's nothing that we can do.
there is another floor.
I guess I'll go up again, but I ain't just want to get here.
All right. He flies around again, circling around the chains. Comes through the hole in the floor this time. Comes up through, goes about 20 feet in the air. Time and the elements have all but destroyed this part of the tower. And the gash, the hole in the wall that he came through is much bigger here. And that's how the elements have gotten in. And there's a slimy black mildew all over the walls. The floor is almost completely rotted and has begun to fall away in places. But as he's looking around, he does see another hole in the ceiling, and the 4 chains stretch up.
I guess I'm going up again.
Once again, circling around in his creepy flight. He comes through the floor about, this is, now you're hitting about 40 feet from the ground floor when you, on the third level. You go on up, through another 20 feet through the top floor. And unlike the levels below, or the 4th floor, I should say, this room shows signs of recent habitation. And although the place reeks of mold and mildew, it has plenty of what looks like creature comforts. Cozy bed, a desk with a matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it. Light enters through arrow slits in the wall, as well as through dirt-caked windows with broken shutters. Now, the other features of this room include a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters bend under the weight of the tower roof, which has somehow stayed intact. But he looks up, mounted to the rafters are pulleys, which around which hang iron chains that support the towers, or support the platform underneath. So basically, what you can tell is that this tower has almost like an elevator platform system, but it has four clay statues standing at the bottom. So, other than the mold and mildew, this is pretty dope place.
How to get up there? How do I get inside? It won't support me, but will it support me to get inside?
There's only one way to find out. Done. Okay. You make your way over to the. Oh yeah, because you are a wafy boy, aren't you? You make your way over to the scaffolding, and I need you to roll a dexterity check at disadvantage.
While Elrin's doing that,
Mm-hmm.
for me, the player, we are thinking this is Rictavio's.
Oh, well, from what you know, this is Rictavio's tower.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember where I was going with this.
Okay. All right.
That's on par.
Oh, did we find the tablet thingy McDuper that
What?
is supposedly here?
You were supposed to look for it, I thought.
Yeah, but he's also not here.
It's somewhere. From the reading, it's somewhere in the tower.
Okay.
Y'all can take your friend to the tram.
Does anybody have knock?
Oh, the spell. No.
All right. So what'd you get, Elrin?
11.
An 11 total. You you walk up and you climb probably 5 feet in the air on one section of this, and you hear a distinct and loud crack. And the board underneath your foot that was on the scaffolding all but just snaps in half and almost disintegrates. And you fall 5 feet down, and you kind of jam your legs as you hit. No damage or anything, but it's just that annoying. Oh gosh, you have to shake it out a little bit. You felt it, but unfortunately, it is. You did break that one section.
Anybody else got ideas?
Was the door open at all?
The door's the one that electrocuted us. I'm gonna go back to my statement of there's probably something in this cart.
All right.
So
Hey.
I'll come running around the other side of this tower.
Before you do that,
Sending stones in my hand.
okay, yeah, okay.
The symbols on the door, we've got to act them out. I just talked to Rictavio.
He used his one. He used his your sending stone, Enoch. Done for the day.
What he gave us. He gave us a bunch.
He gave you all. He gave each of you one, but yours is done for the day.
Yeah.
That was very smart, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say that's better than me trying to break into a cart, but
Do you want to try? I mean, the cart and the door are completely different.
That's true. I still think there's something in this cart that we should.
It's possible, but usually signs that say "stay out" means we don't go in, right?
Thought this was D and
I
D.
wouldn't know.
I'm gonna start acting out what's on the door.
Okay. So you walk up and you notice that there are different symbols all around, different stick figures basically that you look at.
Right.
There are lines that go from one, like it starts like there are two ends to this line, and they go to each one. They connect each one and end at the other. Basically, does that make sense? So there are
Like a dance step.
almost like a sequence.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna try to do the hokey pokey with it. Yeah.
okay.
You want a performance check?
All right, I need you to tell me what you're starting with. Number 3 or number 8?
Let's go with number 8.
Okay. You start at number 8. Then you go down to 5. Back up to 1 and do that symbol. And then down to 7. Over to 4. Up to 2. Down to 6. And finally back to 3. And the electricity around the door, which was fading at this time, stops. And you hear a distinct and the door swings open on rusty hinges. You had a 50-50 chance, my friend.
I'm kind of curious what would have happened if you picked wrong.
Right.
Out,
I am now too.
out of game, I'll tell you, it would have set the trap off again.
That's what I figured, but
Yeah.
Try dude, bro. Got it.
Yeah. So y'all watch this intricate, hysterical dance of like almost like he looks like he's on. Oh goodness. What's the Ninja Warrior or whatever where they have to do the stances and to not get knocked off into the water. Knockout, yeah. So you have to do you have to put your arms up and arms out. And that's what you're doing, basically. You're just doing 8 separate poses. And it's hysterical to see, but he does them. And the door opens, swiftly creaking the entire way. Opening up to what Elrin has explained to you ahead of time. Elrin, did you recall? Yeah, you recalled him, of course. Or you came out of that. Your blindness and deafness. But did you recall him, or is he still chilling up there?
He's chilling.
Okay. What you're standing in front of, or what's standing in front of you, I should say, are 4 clay statues holding on to these chains, just like he described just like Sebastian saw. As you all make your way into the room, you walk up to these statues, and I imagine some of you look up and look around, and then you just hear the chains start to clink, and one by one, they start lowering this platform. You can hear it squeaking and squeaking and just hand over hand over hand, the chains creak and clink, and you can tell that there is a platform being lowered, lowered, lowered. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, the platform is low enough on the ground for you all to jump on. Are y'all getting on the platform?
Yeah.
It'll support all of you. The platform itself is in much better condition than what this tower is. Much better condition. And you all climb on there. As you each climb on, you can distinctly see that these statues have faces, blank eyes. No, they're not like human, but they are what you all would probably know as a golem. And as soon as the last person takes a step on, you feel the sudden jerk of this platform as it begins raising. And the smell of mildew and rot is all around you as you pass through the first floor, the second floor. Kaylin, what's up?
While we're going up, can I be looking for what the tablet thing that
Sure.
is supposedly here?
Now, is it a tablet or is it what are you finding at Von Richten's tower?
It is
The holy symbol, correct?
no, Master of Stars. This is in Rictavio's tower, and wants to return to the tower and see if he can find this. So the Master of the Stars tablet thingy.
It's a tome. It's a book.
The Tome of Strahd. Yeah,
No,
that's what I thought was there.
it doesn't say that in here. Oh, yeah, it does. Never mind.
Ah! Found him.
It's just at the very bottom.
All right, Tome of Strahd. That's right, and it's written right here. One bug in my house. One bug, and I'm about to put my fist through a wall. Go ahead and go ahead and make. Well, it's going to be really hard to actually search these floors because you are being actively pulled up. You can make perception checks on the first, second, and third floor if you so wish, but unless you get out and look around on these floors, and judging by the actual flooring of it, it's not a great idea. They're not going to be able to do an investigation check.
That's fine. I'll do perceptions.
Okay. So give me one for the first floor, second floor, third floor, and we'll deal with the fourth when we get there.
First
Can we
floor.
all be looking for it?
Somebody can help her if they so choose.
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
Okay.
Or I tell you what, Ellen, you go ahead and roll 3 as well.
Okay.
Okay. So my first floor was a 19.
Mm-hmm.
My second floor was a 20.
Okay.
And my third floor is a 13.
Okay. And Ellen, hit me with yours once you get them.
Okay. My first two are 19s, and my third one is a 17.
With your all's checks combined, you notice that on each floor, the first floor there was really nowhere to hide anything. Same with the second and third. Of course, there's no way to check like any kind of secret compartments or anything, but each floor is like empty, and there's nothing really to be able to hide anything behind or whatever, unless there may be a false wall or something like that, but you don't really know. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like anybody would be able to hide anything in here because the flooring is so rotted that it can only hold so much before somebody falls through.
Okay.
As you make it to the fourth floor, once again, you see that this place. I mean, Rictavio slash Von Richten. Von Richten was living pretty good up here. There are supplies. There is a stove, chair, and a desk, and a really nice looking bed, which you all, much nicer than what you all have slept in at the inn. The ride that you all are taking, not is not a smooth ride whatsoever. It comes to a jerking halt as you come through the floor. There are books and papers and rolled up papers laying around all over the floors and everywhere else. But this is probably where he has stayed. If this is, he told you all that this was his tower. This is where he lived. So I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you want to look at.
I am looking at specifically at for large old books.
Okay. Go ahead and make another perception check for me.
All right.
Enoch, what are you doing?
Is there any wine up here?
There is. There's a couple bottles.
For myself, a glass of some.
So if you walk over next to there's kind of like a little pantry built next to the stove. More of shelving than pantry, really. So there are a couple of wine bottles and some dried meats and cheeses and things like that on there. There are 2 simple cups and a couple bowls and plates as well. So you can pour yourself a cup of his wine if you so choose. And you do choose. Yeah. All right. Mulgar, what are you doing right now?
Mogar is behind Enoch, kind of like looking over his shoulder. I'm gonna whisper like, "How does it taste?"
I'll hand the bottle back. Try.
I'll take it.
It is Purple Grape Mash.
We should be liking this by now.
There's not many brands of wine around here.
There was 2 other ones, and everyone's like, "Nah, it's this."
Yeah. Well, Purple Grape Mash is more of the common drink around here because it is the cheaper of the wines. Now you have Red Dragon Crush, which is more the fancy one.
So in like real life, it's like barefoot and it's
It's
something,
Mad Dog 2020 compared to Barefoot.
something really fancy.
Yeah. I would put Purple Grape Mash. It's good. I would put it in more of the barefoot category. Yeah.
All right. I had a dirty 20
Um.
for my perception check.
You find a lot of papers. No big books, no tomes or anything like that. But you do find rolled up papers, parchment, smaller books. There is probably, from what you can tell, a lifetime of research, mostly focused on Strahd von Zarovich.
Okay. So, do I think this is the Master of Stars tome that we were looking for, or do I think just like this man has devoted his life to researching?
This would be more of a devotion of research and ways to hurt, kill, battle, history. I mean, it would be helpful, but also you probably don't want. I mean, like, it's up to you. This is his research and this is his home, so chances are you would have access to it anyway. So you probably don't want to take it with you, but if you'd want to, you go for it. You do notice that there is of course, the armor next to the wall, and the big wooden chest as well.
Okay, I have what may
The wooden chest.
No, the chest plate of the suit of
Oh.
armor. Like he may have like put something inside of it to hide it.
Okay. You look in it, in the chest plate. You look on the back neck. You know, there's the helmet's there, the chest plate's there, but you can see the back of the neck of the armor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is the same word that was written above the door.
Okay.
It's okay, buddy.
Have I so in as I was flipping through the papers about Strahd, have I seen that word anywhere else?
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked that. I'm going to ask you to roll a history check, but it's going to be different.
Okay.
There's a reason I'm doing this, so go ahead and roll that history check, and I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. What's going on?
So-
What's happening? Why are you all
Am I
laughing at
rolling
me?
it with my normal D20?
Yeah.
Because you said it was
Oh yeah. It's just a weird thing I'm doing. Just roll a history check.
Is my screen like camera flashing green to anybody else?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just Discord freaking out.
Okay.
That's a 24.
Okay. You do remember, as part of the history of this, you remember reading a name as you're going through it. You do see that name written boldly. And now, if you go back in this research that's being done, is that something that you would want to do?
Yeah.
You would look at,
Because now we've seen this name twice.
yeah. Kazan was an archmage who was recruited by Strahd to destroy Sergei von Zarovich's sword. It is said that Kazan became a lich who went on to challenge Strahd's power. And instead, he was made a trusted advisor of Strahd. He wanted to leave Barovia. He tried and failed, becoming a demi-lich, losing his life in the process. He was entombed in Castle Ravenloft. So Kazan was a powerful mage. He had to have been if Strahd wanted to recruit him.
Okay. What was his first name?
Khazan. Kazan.
So that is his first name.
That is his name.
Okay.
Are you sharing this information with the rest of the group?
Yes.
And as soon as you say his name, you're like, I figured out what this word is. Kazan was an archmage. You say Kazan, the armor that you're standing next to stiffens and takes one step forward and turns to you and just stands there.
Okay. This may be stupid.
Skull?
You said the helmet is on the suit of armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is a full suit of armor. You can see through the cracks of it, but it is a full suit of armor. If you were to look through the suit of armor now, you would probably be greeted with almost a arcane energy, like a glow.
Okay. So he's the suit of armor is now facing me.
It has turned to you. It took a step forward and almost like military style, turned on its heel and faced you and has not moved.
So at this point, I'm gonna ask him.
It stands there.
Okay. Wave your left hand.
And it just waves its left hand. You hear it clinking a little bit.
Okay. I now ask him, what do you know about Strahd? And I see if there's a response.
The hand immediately goes to the sword on the side. You notice there is a long sword now. There, of course, on the suit of armor there is a long sword, and it draws its sword and stands there with you, like it, shing, right in front of your face, with deft precision. But it stands there, not attacking you, but at the ready. Tanner's so excited right now.
Will you help us? If you will help us fight Strahd, raise your sword hand above your head.
It raises its sword above its head.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. And I introduce myself as to him as Ellen Teal, and I say we welcome your assistance.
It just stands there.
Sheath your weapon.
Sheaths its weapon.
All right, fantastic.
Is there a secret door? I'm gonna ask them.
It
Where
does
is
not
the
look at
Tome
you.
of Strahd?
You ask it what?
Where is the Tome of Strahd?
It turns back to where it was standing. Walks, sheathes its sword. Walks one step forward. Raises its left hand and pushes on a panel on a wall. Really? Hold on, my dog is apparently drinking the world. It pushes its hand on a panel. And you hear a distinct click. And a panel slides back. And there on a small, not a small, but on a wooden pedestal is a deep, it reveals a closet almost. A deep closet. And on a wooden pedestal is a large book. It picks it up in both hands and turns around and walks one step forward and presents it to you, Ellen Teal.
All right, I take it.
It is a black leather-bound book with red inlay along the spine. On the cover, there is an intricate red Z with an S behind it.
You said Z as
Z.
in Zarovich?
Yes. Von Zarovich. But they don't count the Z as part of their initials, or the V as part of their initials.
All right.
If you open this...
I begin, is there a desk?
Yes.
I sit down at the desk and begin thumbing through the book.
Okay. All right. While she is doing that, I'm gonna go around. Kaylin, what are you doing?
Well, since we found the book, I guess just keeping an eye out, making sure no danger
Okay.
appears.
Enoch.
Hey Morgar, you want to play rock paper scissors?
I bet you all win.
Really, guys?
So that's what we're gonna do while waiting for other things to happen right now. Yeah, drinking like
Well, I mean, there's stuff. I mean, there's stuff you could be looking at or anything like that. But okay.
It's old dusty tomes for me.
Okay. Kaylin.
So I thought about it. You said there was a chest, right?
Yeah.
I want to go look at that.
Okay. Elrin, what are you doing?
Also, do I think the sword of the statue or of the armor
Mm-hmm.
is the sword, like the important sword that we need?
It's not here.
Okay. Okay.
It's a nice sword, but I don't. Elrin, what are you doing?
Depressed since I can't have my euphoria dream anymore, so I'm gonna lay down on the nicer bed to fit in, and I'm gonna try and like go back to bed.
Okay.
I want to do something else too.
What do you want to do, Mulgar?
So after I lose to my game with Enoch,
Go lay down.
I want to go over to that that armor, and I'm gonna look into it just to like kind of inspect it a little bit more. And I'm gonna be like, oh, this doesn't look too tough, and I'm gonna be like, punch me.
As you walk over it, you're looking in it. It does have that faint arcane glow instead of you not being able to look in it. And you tell it, punch me. And it does nothing.
Does it kind of gross me out when I look at it?
No. I mean, tell me how you think it would gross you out.
I mean, I don't know. There's like nothing in there. It's kind of weird.
Okay, so as I'm flipping through this book
Mm-hmm.
and I hear Mulgar tell the suit to punch him, and I don't hear the groan of the armor moving, I think punch him, and I see because I'm curious what happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to Enoch after that. I'll be like, "Rrr."
Cheated. Just saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. In the you go to look in the chest, correct?
Yes.
As you get close to the chest, you can smell a lavender aroma emanating from it. It's a wooden chest. It is unlocked. There is a hinge, but there's no lock on it. And it looks like it could be opened.
I open it.
So you flip the latch back and you open it slowly, and that lavender aroma hits you in the face. Smells pretty good. But then you look down, and there is a severed head of a human man.
Do I recognize this severed head?
No, but it looks. I'm sorry, not. Yeah. Actually, you do. Now you don't recognize it, but you would recognize. This is a Vistani. It has the same complexion, hair, everything, of the people that you've seen here. This is a Vistani.
How long has it been here?
Make a medical check for me. Medicine check. Hey, as Elrin...
20.
A what?
A 20.
Okay, hold on to that. Elrin, you lay down on the bed. Try as you may. You're not really sleepy. But you know that feeling, that place you were, probably cannot be duplicated by just sitting here. With a 20 on the medicine check, you notice that this the flesh on the head has a very waxy complexion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a wax head. It is definitely a head.
Yeah.
But it looks almost like it's been embalmed. Preserved.
Yeah. One, I want to pull out the silver skull that I found.
Okay.
And see, is it doing anything, or do
it is
I get any?
It is just being a skull.
It is just being a skull. Okay. I also, before the armor came to life, did we get the full story about the K name that I?
That was basically it. Kazan was an archmage. He was going to be recruited.
Was he a Vistani?
No, he was not. It didn't actually say where he was from. But Strahd wanted him to destroy Sergei von Zarevich's sword. So he became a lich, and he went to challenge Strahd's power. Instead, he was made a trusted advisor of Strahd. He went to leave Barovia, and he tried. When he tried, he failed. I'm sorry. He failed to become a demi-lich. He wanted to become a demi-lich to leave Barovia. And he lost his life in the process. And he was entombed in Castle Ravenloft.
Okay, so it's not him.
He wanted to go from lich to demi-lich to be able to leave Barovia, but died in the process, and he was entombed in Castle Ravenloft. What was your question again?
So I was trying to decide if this head was him, but it's not. So I'm gonna call. I know Ellen Teal's busy, so I'll call Enoch and Mulgar and Elrin over to come see what's in the chest.
I'll go over. What you got there? Ooh.
It's a skull.
It's a head.
It's not a skull. It's a fully fleshed out head.
Well, it's a full head, but it still has a skull in it.
What? Yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe
poke
the
it.
Vistani know
You reach
who
out
it belongs
and you actually.
to.
What is it, Elrin?
Like maybe the other Vistani know who it belongs to. We can take it back.
You could. You reach out and you actually poke the head, and you feel it cold flesh beneath your hand. More that it feels almost as waxy as it looks, but it's definitely flesh.
I'm trying to see if it's still sentient, if you will.
It is not. It is a dead.
Okay,
head.
so it's dead. Not gonna open its eyes and talk some crap in Russian, like some weird movies that I've seen.
No, no.
Okay.
There are ways
look, you
to
never
make the
know.
dead talk, but
Was there anything else in this room other than the armor and the bed and the chest? That we might look at.
Yeah. There are just the papers, that Ellen Teal's kind of been looking through anyway, and she's now poring over these Tome of Strahd. There's not much else left to really look at.
Can I do an insight check on somebody that's not here?
No.
Darn it. I don't know how I feel about Rictavio anymore.
Homie's just
So,
keeping
can
it.
I point out, this is a guy we've just met,
Yeah.
and we're already like buddy with him.
Yeah, we trust people too easy.
Right.
And he has a skull. Well, not a skull. A severed head. Is there anything else in that chest other than...
Just like some cloth, like fancy looking cloth that the head is resting on.
So like a Vistani type?
No, just kind of like a nice blanket.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mulgar.
So the only way to get up to where we are is through this like little conveyor belt thingy.
Correct.
How far is it down?
You're looking probably around 60 feet from the bottom of your foot to the floor.
I'll just wait till we get to the bottom to ask my question.
So the tower is probably right around 80 feet from the top of the tower to the base. So from the bottom of your foot to the bottom floor is 60 feet.
But we're only 4 floors up.
Correct. First floor is 20, second floor is 20, third floor is 20.
Can I get like a retrospective, like while we're on the bottom floor, or should I wait until we get back down there?
What do you mean?
Well, I just wanted to like get a refresher if there was anything down there, like drawers or.
There was not much down there. You all would have seen it's just basically debris and garbage and dirt.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Okay.
If we're at the top and there's nothing else around, like, I say we head back down and keep on keeping on.
Is the armor coming with us?
I think that's up to Elendil. Come on, bushy brows. What you got?
At this point, like I kind of glean from the conversations that I'm overhearing that it sounds like everybody's ready to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so I close the book and I put it in my bag.
Real quick, I'm going to tell you that from what you have read, you can tell that this is an ancient work that has been penned by Strahd himself. And it is telling the tale of how he became a vampire.
So you said Strahd hid this book?
Strahd wrote this book. Penned it. Wrote it.
Penned. Okay.
He wrote this book. This is his autobiography. The pages are of parchment, and they're mostly pretty brittle, but you can still read and turn as long as you're careful. Most of the book is written in a kind of a weird shorthand that you can't really make out. But there are...
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bless you. I was going to say thank you. There are legible works. And then some of the pages are stained, stains and age have made them illegible, not able to read. But yeah, basically one of the things that you could read while you're sitting there, it says, I am the ancient, I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness, and you don't have to write all this down. I can send it to you.
Okay.
My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just God. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone to sand. All goodness slipped from my life, and I found my youth and strength gone. And all I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful, and I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy, but she spurned me. Old One was my name to her, elder, brother also. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With her words, she called me brother. But when I looked into her eyes and they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the age that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death that she saw in me turned her from me. And so, I came to hate death. My death. And my hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact of blood, and on the day of the wedding I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain. A great anger swelled in me. She had to understand the pact I had made for her, and I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet high through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final state. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die. Nor did I live. I became undead forever. And I've studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is the sun and its light that I fear most. But little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I've even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me. She taunts me. What will it take to bend her love to me? I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead and sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall shut the walls of the stairs that none may disturb me. And that was the last thing you read before closing the tome.
Okay. Was there, by any chance, had he like stuck a drawing of Tatiana in there?
No.
Okay. That's what I figured.
You've heard that name.
Yeah.
Arena. Hasn't he called her Arena that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to put it in the Curse of Strahd chat.
All right.
Boom. Send. It will not let me send.
Uh-oh.
I will figure out a way to do that.
Access
Alright.
denied.
There's
Try sending it to me. See if
yeah,
it'll let you do that.
20,000 words in it, or letters in it, and it only allows you. It's like 3,200 letters, and it only allows you 2,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm still 1,029 over, something like that. All right, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about
All
it.
right.
I'll get it to you. All right. With with that, what are we doing?
Heading down.
Head down? Everybody heading down?
Apparently, Elrin wants to YMCA.
Go to bed.
Ellentil, what are you bringing your new puppies?
Yes, I am bringing Kazan with me.
Okay. Yep. Saying that name does nothing else.
That would be messed up if his spirit was stuck in that armor after all that crap.
Did we take the head?
No, you did not.
Not touching it.
Okay.
I would say leave it there because then he'll know we've been stealing more crap than a suit of armor.
I don't trust him now.
You're not gonna miss that.
See, I think there's no guarantee he severed the head.
All right. So let me get you on the thing and get you out of here real quick.
All right.
Before you talk through this, everybody loads back up on the platform, correct? And then
Yes.
without even wondering, somebody may have said, "Well, how do we?" It just it jerks again and begins to slowly lower you down. Pass through all the floors, and then it comes to a sudden stop, jerking stop on the bottom as they stop and hold the chains. The door is still wide open.
No one shut it.
And you walk out into the daylight, I say that in quotations, of Ravenloft. The smell of the marsh still around.
Cart still there?
Cart is still there. Okay, they don't much care. As soon as you all walk out into the air, the decayed air of this marsh, you hear bursting through the woods a distinct and loud howl as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 massive wolves come out. And they stop.
Define massive.
Bigger than most, but not a dire wolf.
Okay. So these are proper wolves. They're not bipedal.
From what you see, they look like proper wolves. But as they start slowly going towards you, you see them start to shift. And joints start to pop. And they raise up. And what you are greeted with are 5 humanoid wolves, which look much like werewolves. And one of them, the biggest one, is in the back and he is seething and ready to go. And the one up front, a little more, we're going to say feminine looking, looks at you and says, "Well, looks like we have stumbled onto 5 little rabbits in the marsh." And you see as the saliva and the drool drips from her jaws. And each of them take flanking positions on each other and slowly walk towards you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
I'm going back in. Let me back in.
Oh, one last thing before we end the session. Your armor, 1 foot steps out, and as soon as it hits the ground, it falls.
Good riddance.
Look, it's still plate mail. We could sell it. I'm just saying.
If okay, so I know we've said we're ending here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep.
Hold on to that. All right. right, we're going to end the stream. I hope everybody had fun watching. And
Yep.
we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.